Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon. It's afternoon with me now, or is it already evening? It's still afternoon. So good morning to some of you. Good evening to whoever's watching it now or in the future. Another live from me. There was a topic coming up that I really wanted to share here with you. And that topic is breaking an ancestral curse. And this is a personal story that I wanted to share with you. Some of you already know this story because I've spoken to some of you, but for most of you, it must be new. And this is a story about me and my daughter. I have a 10-year-old. I'm, for those who not know, I am a divorced mom. I divorced 4.5 years ago. And everything is well, and I'm in good contact with the father. We're good friends, so all of that is good. But what I've been noticing with my daughter lately, especially for the past maybe 1.5 2 years, but it's gotten worse for the past 6 months, where she started to talk back to me. And what I've really been sensing is that the way that I am right now in life, right? The way that I am in consciousness and using the tools, the way that I use my tools, nobody really gets me upset. Like, I never get angry. Anger is a distractor implant. People cannot touch me. Whatever they do, whatever they say, they will not get me upset. Unless it's one of my children. And my mother, by the way. Anyway, beside the point. So the way that was manifesting in my life was that my daughter was acting and behaving in a sort of way where she was just pulling my energy. Like, she was doing things and saying things and getting me to a point where I could just feel myself pulled into anger. And in a way, I was resisting because I didn't want to get angry. And at the same time, I knew it was something she was asking to come to the surface. And it happened every time. And especially for the last 6 months, it's gotten to a point where not one day went by where she did not act out. And I was asking questions, where at some point, a couple of weeks ago, again, this happened. And like, it worked. She got me there. She got me in that anger. She got me in that lower frequency. And then I was like, what is this? And then right in front of me, or right in front of her, I was asking the Lord for help. Like, she was in front of me. I was showing her my anger. Like, what's happening? What's going on? What will it take to change this? And then I said, I'm just gonna get on my knees right now and beg the Lord to help me. I said, I'm going to beg the Lord to help me, to show me, to give me wisdom, to give me assistance, because I don't know. I don't know. And at that moment, I got this vision. And I got a vision of me at my breaking point. And when I was at my breaking point, that's where we cannot give 100%, right? And that's where you're trying to compensate for your children, or you're just trying to manage, and you're trying to be the best parent you can be, but you cannot because you're shattered. And I just saw that vision. And I basically looked at her and I said, I'm so sorry, mommy wasn't there for you. I cried, of course. Like, now I'm pretty quiet, but at that point I was crying, and I said, I'm sorry, mommy wasn't there for you. I couldn't. I said, I was broken. I was shattered. I was in pain. And there were so many things coming up, and there were things coming up from the past and all the things that happened when I was a child, and mommy was just broken. And I couldn't give it to you. I'm so sorry. I said, is all you want just mommy's attention? And she nodded. She's like, yeah. And I said, I'm sorry, baby girl. This is what it was. And she looked at me. And she didn't say a word, but she looked at me with those eyes like she was going to say, I get that. If you were broken, if you were shattered, of course, you don't have all to give, right? And it was like she said, it's okay. And she hugged me and she wiped my tears off my face. And it was like she immediately understood, and she did not need the words. She immediately understood that it wasn't because she wasn't good enough. It wasn't because she didn't deserve all the love. It wasn't because I didn't love her. It was just because mommy was shattered and mommy didn't have all of that, which was okay for her, apparently. And I was talking to my friend Deanna right after this situation. I called her and I said, well, basically, when it comes down to friends, right? When you're good friends, when you're best friends, and there's something going on, and you're not feeling well, you could say to a friend, hey, listen, I'm just not feeling well. I'm not at my best. And I'm sorry, but I don't have everything to give. I maybe have 30%. As a friend, you would say, hey, listen, that's fine. That's fine. As a matter of fact, keep your 30%. Like I'll make up for the rest. It's okay. You don't have to do anything. That's what we do in friendships, which is fine. But we can do that with our children too. Like our children are infinite beings and they have that capacity. Like as parents, we think we have to compensate if we feel like we're not giving enough. As parents, we're saying to ourselves, or we're making ourselves believe, I will make up for this someday. There will be a day when I can give it all and I'll make up to you. Our children don't need us to make up for it. Our children need our honesty. Our children need us to treat them like full beings because they know what's going on, right? She knew she wasn't receiving everything. And this is where she started to believe that there is something wrong with her. And it was causing all the pain to come up that I had in my childhood, where, of course, I never had that conversation with my mother. And that's how I felt like there's an ancestral curse that's been broken because I got to have a conversation with my 10-year-old. I had to have a conversation at the age of 10 where she could still be open to receiving what happened like a couple of years ago. And I could tell her while she still is a child that it wasn't her, that it's not her today. It's never been her. It was just mommy was going through something and mommy was broken and mommy was shattered. And mommy was going through the change, which was actually required, right? And so we had that conversation, and it felt light. It felt like something that was just, it was a shift. And the next morning I woke up and my little boy was in bed with me. He's 6 years old. And I was watching him still sleeping. And I was looking at him and I was thinking about the conversation that I had with my daughter the day before. And it just came to me. I was like, wow, the unconditional love goes both ways. They also love me unconditionally. They don't just love me if I give 100%. They don't just love me if I do this and this and this. They love me anyway. Even if mommy is only capable of maybe giving 30% because something is going on in her life. But mommy has to be honest about it, right? Mommy doesn't have to pretend like everything is okay and I have to be the good parent and I have to do this and this and this and this because that's what expected of me. While I couldn't. Like back then I literally had my mental breakdown, which is okay. It's okay for our children. So that was a beautiful revelation. I was like, wow, this unconditional love with kids goes both ways. They love me too. And so a few weeks went by, and even until today, the behavior of my daughter changed completely. Like, she is not acting out anymore. She is not talking back. It seems like she's her old self again. She is happy. She's laughing with me. She's making jokes with me. She's doing creative stuff with me. You know, we're doing each other's hair, picking out clothes, all these things. Cleaned out her room together. She is an angel. I mean, she's always been an angel, but now in behavior, like, everything was like a 180. And I almost want to knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it, but ever since that conversation, which is now about 3 weeks ago, complete change. Like the talking back, the pulling me into lower energy, stirring up issues, calling the anger to the surface. It's gone. It's not here anymore. So how does it get any better? And I guess this is just a testimonial that I really wanted to share with you here. I'm sorry, maybe it's a bit of a long story, but I'm sure you will catch the energy. I'm sure you will get what I'm trying to tell you, and you might have something going on. Like, many of you are parents, or you have something going on with your parents. Yeah, so I hope this helps. Leave something in the comments for me if you have a question or just some feedback. I'd love to hear what you think, and hope to see you on the next live. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.